Konnichiwa, my friends. GalacticStorm here, and today we've got something very special for you that just came out today, or from today it'd be right now, or a few days ago. This is the Type 3 Chinyu Kai Tier 5 Premium Japanese tank. This tank is a combination of the Type 3 Chinyu suspension with a Type 4 Cheeto gun. One prototype was built in 1945, but the thing was never into service. So, yeah, the Japanese are rolling in and are going in for banzai. I didn't believe really well in their imperialism back then, but I really did respect their honor in that. No disrespect to World War II veterans in Japan or anyone that lives there. I would love to go to Japan one day. Anyway, I gotta get the infos from scratch. From the website. The HP on this thing's 480, engine power is 240, speed 38 kilometers per hour, traverse speed 38 degrees, hull armor 50, 25, 20, turret armor 75, 50, 50, standard shell damage 94 to 19, penetration 19, 194, rate of fire is pretty slow, 12 rounds per minute, turret traverse is 30 degrees per second, and V-range is 350, signal range 400. So the armor is bad, but it does have a good penetration and good damage, but it's low rate of fire and has a slow, or I'd say a decent speed. I think it's a little bit more within the medium tank range, but for I couldn't find the tanks on the or the info on the tank section because the Japanese branch isn't out or anything like that, so I had to get it from the website, like I said. But with the gun that you are getting, it's the 7.5 centimeter tank gun Type 5. It has, like I said, good penetration, good damage, but does have really good accuracy, 0.37 accuracy. Aiming times, I think it's long. It's well, I think somewhat short. It's 2.29, and yeah, there we go. It has low engine power, all that fun shizzle and nizzle. So let's go to the pros and cons on this thing, shall we? The pros on this thing are quite simple. It's an accurate gun with nice penetration, decent camo values. It has a good gun mantlet that can actually absorb shots, and if the branch comes by, or the Japanese branch comes by, this will be the highest premium tank that you can train it with. So yeah, it'll be pretty good with that. The cons on this thing, like it said, poor armor. It's tall, surprisingly, for a tier 5 tank. You can get constant module damage, and it has bad gun depression. So this tank, it's a mixture of good and bad. It's like it has good armor, or it has bad armor, but a good gun. But it doesn't really take that much damage for it to get crippled with the module on that. And yeah, so I've got some really good gameplay for you to see. And without further ado, let's go kamikaze slash banzai slash all the stuff very honorable with this brand new tank. Alrighty, well, this was my very first game with the Chinyu Kai. It's Live Oaks on Encounter Battle. I don't think I've done a game on Live Oaks before. Well, this thing was pretty much it was good for me, but it was a complete douchebag of sorts. Well, allow me to explain. There's this, I think it's a 3rd platoon, if I think so. If I think so, or if I believe so, I'm sorry. It's a M41 and 2 M4s. These 3 would eventually kill themselves, and I think they've done it on purpose because since they were an entirely own platoon, and I didn't actually recognize it until right about when I was watching this video here. And for me, I'm going to be riding off onto the other side to heading toward the base here. Well, not the base, but where the hill's at. And for here, I'm going to be sitting up on the hills. I'm going to be trying to watch my partners, wanting them to go in. I'm trying to be a support. And there they go. There's the M41 that's killed itself. And then there's the M4 that reluctantly killed itself. And then what we're going up here, while they're doing that, there's the artillery, the AMX, and the M4 did the same thing. And there's my first damage with the Shinu Kai. And then there's the T1 Heavy. I did some damage onto it. This thing is pretty accurate for a Japanese tank. Oh, for the first Japanese tank I've ever drove in. But I kept on doing shots, one bounced, and I didn't get the kill for it, sad face. And there's a tank that I did a review on, the BK-3601H. Now, this tank is, I hit the right spot. Oh, well, I aimed at a different spot, but I aimed at a lower spot. Aimed at the Glacius and lit it on fire, and then boom, my first kill. And there we go, it's starting to capture, we're starting to capture. And this is when I just figure out right now, or when I was watching it, that because of the scores differences are so different. And I found out on the other side too, 2 others have killed themselves for some odd reason. But the others look like they either bonsai'd or something, I don't know. But either way, who cares? Blah 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 blah. But it's gonna care once we get further on to the gameplay here. KV1 damages tracks, and then there's the Crusader. I tried to did something. I tried to see if there was gonna be there, if it was gonna be there, but turned out it didn't. There's the KV1. I see everyone trying to charge up onto the hill, and then I realized I got detected. I decided to go down the hill so I won't get hit. Like, this is the armor on this thing's pretty bad, the hull and that. Well, the frontal armor is, and there's a light thing I'm trying to look at. The frontal turret armor on this thing's good, but it's just not that good. It's like an M4 Sherman with a turret, but it's pretty big, and the modules can be damaged real easily on this. So I decided to move back and wait for the light tank that was supposed to come in, and it was a Panzer 1C. I thought it was a Leopard at first, and then I'm like, I don't think so. And now look at it, we're tied at 9-4, or 5, or not really tied, but it's like a huge, what's it called? Endeavment, or whatever it's called. And here comes the Panzer 1C. I decided to start shooting at it, and it's doing damage. Small damage on me, but it damaged my tracks. Did one shot at it, damaged the ammo rack, and well, I tried to shoot at it again, but with no avail. It did some more minor damage onto me. Decided to fall back and try to turn around here. And then there's the Matilda right down there. My teammates are trying to go after the base. And there's the T-49. I shot its tracks off. I didn't do any damage though, by the looks of it. And then I finished off the Panzer 1C. It's like, bug off, leave me alone. And then I got hit with a shot on the side, and right back there, that's what ultimately destroyed me, but not right now. Spoiler. But it was a KB-220. And then, hello, the T-49 is back. It looks like it's been one on my deck. Well, I'll give it something more than just a deck. I'll give it a full-blown concussion with a side of rabies and a side of vehicular cancer. I just made that up, I'm sorry. 3rd kill. So, now we came back. That's what I meant by the word, came back. So it's now tied 4-3. So I decided to move back here, and then that's when I spotted the KB-220. I didn't know where the other 2 tanks were going to be at. And well, I tried to go after the KB-220, and then all of a sudden disappeared, and then I'm getting a little bit worried. I don't have that much health, and I don't have good armor, but I do have good penetration. Oh, yeah, good penetration, I would say. But then I decided to move back with my teammates, like they commanded, just to watch the backs and that. So here comes the KB-220, right again. It's coming out right behind the side of the what's it called, the hill right here. And then one of my buddies got killed by it. Well, not really my buddies, but one of my teammates. I decided to shoot at it, try to take some shots at it, and then I got it with the track shot. It repaired it with the repair kit, obviously. Then I try to move up, or try to move back here, try not to get hit with the tank. But then try to move up forward, and most of the tank was hidden due to the road and the hills that covered it. But this is what pretty much screwed me over. Right behind me was another Shinyu Kai and a Hetzer. And you probably know what would happen with a Hetzer with weak armor and with its very 10.5 centimeter gun. So yeah, well, my gaming came from then on this session. But however, due to that, due to my misactions, and I didn't know what was going to happen then, KV-220 finished off the other tank, and then there's the Churchill. It's about to be gangbanged by the KV-220, the Shinyu Kai, and the Hetzer. But unfortunately, the KV-220 is going to be finishing it off. And there we go. Or actually, the Hetzer is going to finish it off. I'm sorry. So, yeah. So we pretty much got screwed over since the beginning because of those 3 dynamic douchebags. And yeah, it really pissed me off just to find that out. So I got a sharpshooter, master gunner, and then I got the mastery badge 1 class 95%. And I got 41,000, almost 42,000 silver, and 1,300 experience. I would have had more if I didn't have, what was it called? Or if I got the win. So I damaged the AMX, the BK-36 and 1H I went boom on. T1 Heavy got damaged, T-49 I destroyed. Panzer 1C I pretty much fucked over. And then did some systems on the KV-1 and I damaged the KV-220. So, yeah. Well, but yeah. I just got so pissed off at that when I just figured that out. And I did the best on my team. 1,243 damage with, what was it, 41 assist. So, oh yeah, and the 2 M4s and the M41, those are those stupid fucks that decided to screw over and commit suicide because they were very dishonorable, have no lives, and are sitting in their mom's basement. I think I went out too far, but who cares? But there they go. Pretty much the enemy team, they were pretty bad, I would say, just because of all the damage they did, and yeah. So, besides this one, let's go for a new, more positive role, shall we? I've got another gameplay for you guys. Alrighty, and for our last gameplay, which this is going to be a very long review / gameplay, it's going to be on one of the newer maps called South Coast. Or I think it was one of the newer maps. I don't know how long it's been since it's been out because I haven't been paying attention to World Tanks that recently. But I do know that a new set of tanks have been released, but I just haven't paid attention to it. So anyway, I'm playing the Shinyu Kai. This is still one of the first few matches that I've played with it, and half of the team is tier 5 on the enemy side, so it's time to feast on my enemies. Oh no no no. So I had no idea where to go to at first. I mean, I've played this map only once, so I decided to make the best bet and just head along the well, I really don't know where I'm at this point at first. But it's starting to get really close to the enemy spawn point, or to the spawn point where the area's at. So I decided to go all the way up to the what was it? In the middle, somewhere in the middle on the right-hand side, I believe. But that's just me. So I decided to slide down here, and where I'm going to be going to, it's going to be more of an epic frenzy. Well, starting right down here, and then I get my first customer, the Crusader. That little light tank, that little light bastard. Took a nice shot at it, and most of its health's already gone because someone else has been trying to eat him up already. So I tried to do another shot, or if he comes out, but my friendly Shinyu Kai finished it off. So once we're down there, I decided to move up with my friendly SU-86, I think it's called. I'm sorry. But our first real good opponent is the Churchill right here. He has really good guns, but it has really good frontal armor too. But it does have really bad side armor. So it makes it like completely screwed since the tracks and that are exposed. And with all of its health drained, I decided to do it the honorable favor. So I decided to move up here. It's the SU-85B, I'm sorry. So I decided to move up, and I didn't want to at first because I had no idea what was going to be on the other side of those canyon walls over here. So I decided to move up slowly but gently. I brought others back up with me, and oh my gosh, it's another Shinyu Kai. So there's another SU-85 coming right here, and I decided to shoot at it. It took a shot at it too, which was pretty good, and yeah, it was pretty good. And this is the 78, SU-78, SU-79, and it took a shot at me, but I took a huge chunk of its health, and then I just finished it off. And there's the UE-57, that sneaky little bastard. I didn't even see him coming. And then here comes more trouble. It's the M8A1. I've done a recent review on it a very long time ago. I took like 2 shots on it, damaged its armor, or turret, and I damaged it, and I got bounced, and then there it is, kill number 4. And once I decided, when I figured out that, holy crap, we're creaming these guys. And this is literally a tank graveyard. Holy crap, and I'm the only one that survived it all. Wow. So then I decided to move up here. I don't think these guys were really the best on their team, or like if they were like decently good players or not, I'm not entirely sure. But now there's only like 1 tank left out of about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 tanks. Yeah, approximately 12 tanks. Actually make that 11 tanks now. So there's really nothing else to do. The enemy tanks like on the other side of the map, so I decided to for the rest of the game I decided to capture the map, or capture the base here. So this tank, it's not bad. It has some good, it has some bad, like any other tank, but this one's more partially along that line. But I think this tank can be really good. I heard like the Shinyu, the original Shinyu, is better than this tank, but well. But alright, after a few seconds later, we won. We got the base captured. So yeah, and an epic win after a horrifying loss. This was a few games after my Live Oaks battle. So there we go. I got about 56,000 silver, sharpshooter medal, a mastery badge, ace tanker, and I got sniper, and then I got about 2,300 experience with it, and a whole crap ton of ribbons too. About 8 ribbons, or 7 ribbons to be exact. So there we go. I destroyed the M8A1, I damaged the Crusader, the SU-76, 78, I apologize, I can't really see that far, hang on for a second. Oh, it's 78, I'm sorry, UE-57, and then there's the Churchill that I partially finished off. I had an extra large this, and then I finished off the Shinyu Kai. So I really didn't do that much damage. I did about 478 assists and 974 damage, and about 1,502 experience. So that was pretty good. The Shinyu Kai below me should have gotten it, and then the enemy team wasn't good. Let's review this take. The Shinyu Kai. Well, what do I think about this tank? Well, it's definitely a tall tank. It has good armor, or it's not really good armor, it has a good gun, good penetration, good damage, and it also has good camo, but it does have very bad armor, it's tall, and it's just, I think, a little bit sluzzy. But, with the gun depression and all, I mean. Well, with this tank, what I think about it is, this tank is not the best medium tank, it's a good premium tank, but it's not a really good premium tank. It's like an average, I would say. So with this tank, here's what I think about it. The ranking on this tank that I shall give it is, ta-da, an 8 out of 10. This tank has a very tall turret, and it will be a shooting magnet with this. And the armor is not going to protect you from any shots, so even angling this thing is going to be impossible. Without you're not gonna bounce any shots with this tank, believe me. And playing this tank, you have to play this tank as a sniper and a support tank, because if you go up in the open, you're gonna get your ass riddled with your armor. But in a good way, this thing is a really good sniper up in the higher, if you're the higher tier. And this tank, you would have to play as a Tiger 1, which is supportive, far away, and a sniper. That's what I pretty much covered. So this tank's not bad for 1700 gold. So that's what I think about the Type 3 Shinyu Kai. Vote, rate, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I have my Facebook page down below. And this is GalacticStorm, and I'm saying sayonara, bitches.